Alright, so in today's video, let's talk about the Cycle Frontier and let's get into it. Alright, so I've been playing the Cycle Frontier since March 16th when the beta started. I played it in the original closed beta a while ago as well. I don't think I made a video on that, but it runs until April 4th of 2022 and it's supposed to come out this year as well, so hopefully we'll get a more concrete date for when it actually comes out, but it's going to come out on PC for the Epic Game Store and Steam. I'm currently playing it on Steam and it's doing really well. Besides not really being integrated into Steam, I assume that's because they're also deploying it through Epic Game Store, and maybe there's not a way of making it easy to work between both of those. So they made their own friends list, which actually I have issues with, but maybe we'll go into that when I show you guys kind of the interface of the game. So this game is a PvP VE is how they describe it, FPS game. And the idea is that you drop into a map and you are against players as well as monsters that are just around. And so you're trying to collect resources, materials, and complete missions for the factions, which we'll go into as well once I show you guys the home area. And so that's pretty much your mission, is just collect stuff and try to complete missions to then level up your levels in the faction. And you're just trying to get better gear and be able to fight tougher enemies, both players and monsters, and just be able to go to Fortuna 3, which is the name of the planet you're going on to, and be able to go on there without dying right away or after you see someone. So let's go into what I think needs a little bit of work. Like I mentioned earlier with the friends list, it's a little rough around the edges, but I think they have a good basis of what they need there, and that's pretty much the whole game. I think it's pretty well designed right now, but I think that there's some things that they can improve on, which would also be like the notifications for like upgrades and stuff like that. And not very in your face of knowing when your upgrades are being or have been done in your bunker or your room. Well, I don't remember what they call it offhand, but we'll see it in a second. And that all could be improved, but I also think that some of the missions are kind of repetitive between them, and you don't really share. If it's an item, you don't really share that with each mission. And so you run into having stacks of missions, which I do right now, where you need the same item multiple times, which means you need like 13 of them, and they're not easy to get. So progression is a little weird in that way, where I'm having a little bit of issues of getting past those points without knowing where to go and being able to just find these glass things that they want you to find. So I think that overall the mission system is good. I just think that there's a little bit of tweaking they could do so that it's kind of spread out more, so you're not just looking for one item and you just need a lot of it, or 15 of them, and they're not easy to get. And so like I mentioned before, you're dropping into Fortuna 3, which there's two maps currently, the Bright Sands and the Crescent Falls. And the Bright Sands are the easy map or the normal map, and then the Crescent Falls is the harder map. And I'm hoping they come out with like maybe some other modes or more maps when it finally launches, just so that there's a little bit more variety there than I'm just running one map usually. And I think we've gone once to the other map, the Crescent Falls map, as I've been there once. It's really nice looking. It's just harder. So at the beginning of the game, you don't want to just jump into that. I think that that's most of what the issue is right now. Maybe more maps. I know they have two, but maybe just having maybe different modes for that one map, making it easier or making it different, or just changing up the different types of instances that you can go into for it, like having them a little bit more random. If I don't know if you run into one instance and for the next 8 hours it's one instance, or if there's multiple instances that all run for 8 hours. I'm not sure about that, but I do know that the map stays for 8 hours. I don't know exactly what that means, besides the fact that people have been saying that it stays for 8 hours and it resets every 15 to 30 minutes with like loot and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see if maybe they can make that a little bit better, so it's a little bit more random maybe of like 4 instances that you can drop into so that you don't automatically just get back into the same one. So this game is free. I don't think I've mentioned that yet. And so there's going to be a season pass and probably loot boxes and microtransactions like that. And so their Fortuna Pass is their season pass or their battle pass, and that'll just, free stuff for the free tier, and then there'll be a paid option as well that'll give you a little bit better stuff and more skins and stuff like that. And I'm not too worried about that. It's kind of common practice right now with free game. Not too worried about that. They haven't really shown that in the beta or given any idea of how much it's going to cost for certain items or anything like that. They haven't really gone into that at all. And the link that I was provided on their website does not work. I can't really dive into what it's supposed to be. So yeah, that's not very much information about what their battle pass or their microtransactionals will look like. And so you can drop in as solo, duo, or trios. And I think that the solo is probably the worst off one in the beta right now because of the fact that solo is difficult if other people are dropping in as duos and trios. And I don't think there's any type of system to try to prioritize solos together, which would be great. I gave feedback on their little survey about that to make it so that solo needs to have either a separate mode or going into a map that maybe doesn't have PvP. So you can just do missions, something like that. A little bit of more balancing on the solo part. Otherwise, I don't recommend playing this game solo because it is very difficult unless you're just trying to get like little things for missions. Going into like full geared with your best gear is not a good option on solo because you're probably going to run into duos or trios. So that's always a concern there. And I think that's all I have to say without showing you guys the main map or the main area of the game where we're going to do now. So let's go ahead and check that out. All right, so once you immediately log in, you get a little login screen. At least for the closed beta, you get this little guy here that shows you what you earn every 2 days for logging in. And as you can see, I've been playing for about 13 days. At least I've logged in for 13 days. And I'm about to get this nice weapon here. Hopefully they'll continue this as going into actual release where you get login rewards. That's usually a free-to-play game tactic, is to get just a login every day. So this is your main HUD. You got your missions on the side, the top left corner, objectives. I can't use the mouse because it captures it, sadly, but that you got your objectives. You got your currencies up in the right hand corner. You got your just menu navigation down in the bottom right, and then your social, which is your friends feature in this game, as it doesn't use Steam, it doesn't use Epic, it uses its own little mechanism for friends. And so we're gonna go ahead and tab in. You got play, which is just going into a match, you deploy, and like I said before with the Fortuna Pass, they don't seem to be giving too much information around this. I don't know exactly how much it's going to cost or how much the Arium, I don't know if that's Arium or not, but it doesn't, I believe that's this one up in the corner here, and it doesn't really tell you how much that's going to cost. So that's a lot of mystery there. So then you got your inventory, which you have your stash, which is all safe, just available when you're in the hub world. And then you got your backpack and your gear and everything, and your safe pockets. These never go away. It's kind of like Tarkov, I haven't played too much of Escape from Tarkov yet, but this is pretty much what they're going off of, and it's a great system here. The limit on the stash could be better, but then again, I think it's a good amount. Tries to keep you in managing your inventory and not just stockpiling everything. So then you got character customization, which I don't really normally play around with character customization that much, but let me know down in the comments if you guys have dived into this at all. I haven't really. There's not a lot of emotes or banners or anything like that. I think these are the only ones that give you so far, because I think they'll have to buy them. But for now, that's just what we have, so there's not too much I can go into that. And then here's your objective screen again. This goes into a little bit more detail about how to find things. Some of these are pretty good at telling you where to find things, but some of it's not. and they'll just have to work out how to try to give you that information without giving you too much information, I assume. So let's go ahead and look around here. So you got your different factions. So you got the Korolov over here, which is I just reference it as orange because I'm not trying to remember all these names. But then you also have Osiris. So you got Osiris, which is green, and then you got the ICA, which is blue. And so you're just pretty much doing missions for them, like I've shown already with the objectives, and you're trying to level each one up. So I'm gonna run into, let's go into the blue one, and you can go to shop here, and you just have to try to level them up, and you'll unlock different types of rewards here, which is like this shotgun, or it's not a shotgun, it's actually an LMG. You unlock that at 7, 9, 11, stuff like that. I believe this one also gives you grenades, and I don't know if there's anything else you unlock. Not really. But you also can sell things to them, and they'll give you experience for certain items. Like this one gives you 2 experience and 169 of their currency, of the game currency. And so that's pretty much what you're trying to do here. I'm hoping that they add a lot more. This is a great start, I think, for the beginning of the game. And since we'll be, you know, it'll be wiped and before the game starts after the beta, and we'll have to do this all again. But I think it's enough to hold us over for a few months, and maybe they'll add in more missions or maybe another faction or other things to do in this little hub world, as there's not much more to do besides going down here to your quarters. That's what it's called, quarters. And you get to upgrade your quarters. And this is where you upgrade your inventory, the generators, and the workbench. The workbench is this itself. And then you got the inventory, which is your stash and your safe pocket. Those are both getting upgraded here. And then your generators, you generate K marks, which is their currency, and the Arium, which is used for insurance, so that you can insure your weapons or anything like that and get it back if no one takes it after you die. And so you can go here and you collect your generators, and then you get a little supply crate every day, which a bunch of stuff in it, which now I'm probably really full on my inventory. Yep, getting up there. So I'll have to make sure to go and drop some stuff or something, or sell some stuff. And so you get those little quarters. Hopefully they add a little bit more here too. That'd be great. This is all just feedback of a game in beta. So finally, the last thing in here that you can really talk to besides the person in the bar when you first come in is a tutorial. Everybody else is not really important, at least yet. This is the Fortuna Pass, but you can just go into the menu as well. You got a little quick shop here, which is just generic, you know, cheapest stuff that you can buy, which is usually what I've been dropping with if I'm playing solo, is I just buy stuff from here and just keep stock up here so that I don't use anything that's really that good. And so once you're finally ready to drop down to the planet, you can go ahead and choose a map, like I was saying, with Bright Sands and the Crescent Falls, and you select the map. Here you get to choose your different types of insurance. So gear salvage gives back the weapon if no one takes it. Otherwise, I believe it gives you back K marks in exchange for the item that they took. Now you have the standard insurance, which is just giving you back K marks if you die. It just gives you back, no matter what, the amount that you insured it for. But the gear salvage is really nice. If you die and they don't take any of your items, even your teammate or anybody, it's all just left on the planet, then you'll be able to actually get the gear back, and then you can run again with the same gear. And so I used that for a while, and I ran out of their Arium in this beta, but I assume that's going to be something you purchase in the final game. So that might not be a big issue if you're willing to spend money on that. But I think that's what you're also trying to get the generators up for, is to be able to not have to pay for it and just be able to generate enough of the currency that it won't matter. And based off of some of these upgrades, I think you can actually do pretty much that and be able to generate a good amount at least by the time you get closer to the end game of this. That's pretty much what I've been going through for this game in beta so far. Again, the Cycle Frontier is in beta until the 19th. I actually said it wrong before. They extended it because they were having issues at the beginning of the beta. So it's up until the 19th and we'll be able to play. And let me know down in the comments if you guys are playing. And maybe leave your name in game, which you can find in the menus, which I probably already shown already. So doesn't matter if I show you it here. There's mine. Add me if you want. I'm not too picky on that. It may not work if the game's already launched. They may change the numbers, so I might come back and make another video for that if you guys want to know and be able to add me. And so if that was the Cycle Frontier, I'm enjoying it and I'm hoping that other people are as well. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about it, and let's go ahead and switch camera angles right before I finish this up real quick. We'll leave the music going for the game. So thank you guys for watching. Like this video if you liked it, dislike if you don't, hit the subscribe button and then turn bell notification on so you get notified when we upload new videos. As well as I'm thinking about starting to stream again with this game, especially I'm really into this, so I might be playing a little bit more. And so let me know down in the comments if you guys want to see me stream the Cycle Frontier and dropping in and dying constantly. Also make sure to go down in the description and look at all the links. I'll link this game's homepage and the Steam page so you guys can go ahead and check that down in the description, as well as merch, Twitter, Discord. Join Discord if you want to play too. It'd be easier to chat than in game. So go ahead and make sure you follow those links down in the description, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.